Okay, you also don't.
If you have a watertight case, are you afraid of his lawyer? Why would you be afraid of his lawyer?
So let's hear from
I mean, it's very, it's very obvious.
No, he shouldn't even go for a lawyer.
So, guys, I'm feeding that into the broad conversation around corruption.
It's very obvious that, I mean, when legal matters arise, I mean, as in every jurisdiction, a citizen is entitled to a legal representation. So that shouldn't be news. And I was even surprised that the Attorney General of our country will bring that into his discussion to create some bit of euphoria or something, because he should know that the man will be represented if there's any legal matter. And then to even try to qualify that he's gone for top lawyers. So in the end, I don't know what he was trying to do with that narrative he was telling us. A question about that, excuse me, in the Ghanaian language. So I'm top lawyers. You see, so it's like the man who has something to do, instead of staying focused and getting us onto the trajectory, goes around, they will be talking about the gray areas, red herrings, things that are, when it comes to logical reasoning, these are things that do not really matter to the discussion. Tell us what you are doing to help bring Ken to this jurisdiction. Go straight to the point and give us the legal parameters, your strategy. At the end of the day, a session of this argument has been that you can host the man via virtual discussions. That is, if you want to really prosecute this man, continue the prosecution on the virtual level, i.e., do conferences. We do conferences.
You're a lawyer.
We call clients. We call clients.
Yeah, you're a lawyer. Can you procure evidence outside of the jurisdiction?
Of course, if you are doing a properly legal conference, because we do conference when we are doing trials.
No, but my specific question is,
yes, when you are doing
can you procure evidence out of the
when you are doing a trial, and the client who is a witness at the time is not in the jurisdiction, and we raise that client on a conference call. What about the client to be testifying is evidence?
That must be at the instance of the court, no?
Yes, of course.
Yes, but so if a court hasn't cleared that and you're procuring that on your individual accord, that will not have relevance in court.
Attorney General ignited that. Has he started that process? Has he gone to the court to say that, well, we are not getting Ken Ofori Atta, so we want to do this prosecution via conference?
Yeah, but I mean, why would a former appointee be seeking to do a Zoom accounting to the people? I mean, when, of course, we've given you the opportunity to...
No, what I'm trying to say is that if you're having a problem bringing the man, and if that is going to give us a tussle, and if you are serious in trying to unravel the matter and give Ghana what we want by prosecuting, let's see you prosecuting. I'm saying that in our jurisdiction today, due to technology, we do what we call conferencing. I've done a couple of them. So if you are in England, you are in Nigeria, you are in Togo, and you cannot come down, the court understands that today's trial, I'll call my client virtual, you understand? We go there, the IT session will set it up. The Zoom link will be sent. When the time comes, we'll raise you and you testify. Whatever you'll be saying on Supreme Court, it's evidence. So you can procure evidence. So if you think you cannot bring Ken, and you go and tell the court that, well, we want to do this via virtual mode, then let Ken tell us that I will not take that. Then we'll now be seeing the intention of Ken. But if you have not even started that, you have not taken that step, you are still handling the normal way of doing it, you want to get him physically in court, and that is giving you a problem. Ask yourself that, are you making progress? And instead of addressing those issues, you are coming to tell us. You raise a press conference, come and tell us about how he's gotten top lawyers. And for me, as a lawyer, I think that is that fallacy.
But generally speaking, has the AG excited you about his posture and fight towards corruption so far? He's dealt with, appreciably some of the oral cases, top cases. You can think of the NSS and the others. I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed. You see, the venom we had as a country, the overwhelming votes that the NDC was given was on the back of a huge expectation by this country. I'm in the CPP. We spoke to the people, and the people thought that let's go with the NDC. So if you say you are coming to deal with an economy that has criminally been managed, and yesterday I was surprised when the majority leader in closing added those to his closing remarks. I said, look at these people. Are they still politicking? Do they think we are still in the campaign mood? That an economy that was criminally managed.
Is that a fact?
It's not a fact, because it's beginning to come out that this adjective they were using was overboard. You're trying to oversell the issue for the voters to see that you are trying to give them an alternative. Now you come, this economy that was criminally managed, do something about it. Go in there and let's see prosecutions with the result. What I'm seeing now is media charade and gimmicks. Today you have the substantive minister himself mount a press conference, come and say things. At the end of the day, it's 1 hour. He's not giving me a strategy why we are making progress. The next time you see my learned friend Ramshai, he also comes and then they're just making some, it's more or less like public euphoria. Give us tangible results.
I'll tell you about some of the cases in court.
Let's see results.
I mean, the former case we were talking about, Chairman Wuntumi's cases before court, the national security, national signal bureau cases before court.
Have we seen 70% closer to prosecution?
The will of justice will grind slowly, isn't it?
That is where sometimes we make it milky. These type of cases, the venom upon which you came, if you are an attorney general who wants resource, trust me, you can arrange with the court and you will get resource. For instance, if you seriously want to prosecute and get resource, what stops you from agreeing with the court and having a daily trial? Nothing stops you. The court can always have its rules. And you are the attorney general, you are the leader of the bar. You're not like me, a lawyer who cannot, more or less, I would say dictate to the court, but who cannot reason with the court. But you, the attorney general, you can always get to the court, get to the chief justice, get the judicial secretary, get the chief justice to understand.
I'm saying that all of these cases being initiated by the AG does not make any difference.
No, I'm not saying the initiation is not right. I'm saying that for me, with the euphoria that we had, that we are coming to sanitize an economy that was criminally managed, I was thinking that 1 year, because trust me, 1 year is huge time for us to have even seen 1 or 2 conclusions that we have finished this one and a court has pronounced on that person.
The oral.
Oh, but Domelevo has told us that most of the things they were doing were a baggage they were picking up. So you see, you had our brother Sam Okudoto making a whole lot of noise, trying to let it look like when we come to power after 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, we will grab people and show to the world that we have nothing like that is happening. As for the initiation, fantastic. But at the end of the day, what happens in this type of political charade is that all these things happen and 4 years will come very soon and no tangible results. So at the end of the day, have we attained results? Ken's issue. The reason why I fought the Attorney General is that if you want to prosecute him, get the court to have a reasoning with you that in his absence, even the law allows you to prosecute him in his absence. But we are saying that for justice and fairness to prevail, use the scientific mode, the new era. Arrange with the court and say you are going to raise him.
Counsel, you are well aware of the rules. This is a criminal case, and it's the individual that we're looking for.
I'm saying that we can still arrange with the court to do this trial.
So are we able to effect arrest on Zoom?
When we get to where there should be an arrest. Now with the extradition, I'm not trying to arrest.
Are you not then giving?
No.
Giving the individual.
The trial is different. The trial is different. I'm saying that.
I get that.
You take him through the trial.
Yes.
Let's see that every day or 2 days, 3 days.
Yes.
Ken's court date. He's in court.
Yes.
Whilst we are raising him via Zoom, they can even telecast it.
I'm telling you that can you effect arrest on Zoom?
No,
that is after he's found guilty. He's not guilty yet.
I get that.
But don't go to. You are educating the people. Don't go to the arrest. I'm saying that it's a process.
The arrest is a possible outcome of the trial process.
No, he can be in court and still decide not to speak.
I know that. But I'm saying that the arrest is a possible outcome of the trial.
No, so, what you are not doing is that all the complaint as a country, we are complaining that we are not seeing anything.
Yes.
Now, from the trajectory you are moving to, now you are moving to issues of arrest. I'm saying that to help this country to understand that the AG is doing something. Let the AG ignite the process by the virtual mode, where we can see that Ken's trial has started. Ken will come to court. Where is he coming to court? If it's
on Zoom.
If it's criminal court 4,
if
it's criminal court 4, the date will be there. The court will sit. The judge will sit. Attorney General will be there. the accused person will be raised on Zoom.
Is that new?
I'm not saying it's new.
It's not new. Even the Supreme Court in 2020 raised Rojo Metelunu on Zoom.
But that was,
and he gave evidence.
That was not a criminal trial.
It doesn't matter. It's a trial.
It's a trial. It's a trial.
That was an election petition.
No, is it a trial? Is it a trial this country is looking for? Or we are?
That was an election petition.
Or we are okay with the excuses that?
Counsel, you know the difference, and you know the implications.
No, the difference.
There was an election petition, and there is a criminal trial.
Please,
there are two different.
Please. A trial is a trial. There's a civil trial and a criminal trial. Every trial is a trial. I'm saying that as a country, all this expectation we are putting on the Attorney General, is it a trial? Is it a prosecution that should start that we want all excuses and justification?
Okay.
And I'm saying that if we want to prosecute Ken, the Attorney General, if you want to be seen working, he can use the conference mode trial system, where Ken Ofori Atta has a court date. When that date arises or comes, they go to court. The parties are in court. The judge will call the clerk will call the case. Attorney General will be there. Then Ken will be raised on Zoom. Then Attorney General will start the trial. Let's see that he's starting the trial. But these excuses and these other issues, it's not giving us.
What's Ken hiding from? I mean, he's now hiring lawyers. We are told by the AG. I mean, if you were a former finance minister of this country, one of the longest serving. I'm not saying he's the longest serving, by the way.
Is the longest?
No,
7 years.
I mean,
no, Kojo didn't do 7 years.
Oh, but he's
from
been the longest. PNDC.
They add all from PNDC to.
So he's been.
We'll check, but I think
in the history of the country. Okay, whatever the case, even if it's the longest in your view, then why is he running away? I mean.
Okay, so before that, let me just give this analogy.
Yes.
You have your players from Kotoko going to play with Real Madrid. Then your key defender is saying that, hey, I'm going to play with Mbappe. It means he has conceded defeat already. Because our Attorney General is telling us that he cannot even win against those lawyers.
He hasn't told you.
I'm even so up. But if you hold a press conference addressing the nation and you're telling the nation that the man has hired top-notch lawyers, you expect him to just go for any lawyer so that he can lose. The overarching intention of this government is to put Ken Ofori Atta to jail. That's all they want. Because even his defense, they are questioning the kind of lawyers he is picking. Can you imagine this?
Let me just
Someone is going to court on a trial.
Just a minute.
Then you are telling him that no.
Rashid Tanko Computer will be coming to you shortly. So just be on standby for us. Yes.
So I'm saying that you are putting someone before a trial. The person goes and gets his lawyers. Then you are addressing the nation, telling the nation that he has gone for top-notch lawyers. It means you can't match them.
If Ghana is going
Ghana is going to lose the case.
If Ghana is going to play Argentina and there's Messi in there, it doesn't negate his standard. If you say
that is why
if one of the world's best players.
If you have your watertight case, you're not afraid of any lawyer. Why will you even talk about his lawyer? If you have a watertight case that you know that you'll be able to really get conviction, why will you talk about his lawyer again? Present your case. You see, this government will not be able to do 5 successful prosecutions. 5. Looking at the snail pace that they are going on now. They have 27 months, you are a lawyer, 27 months of legal months before 2028 elections.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you're counting down. You're happy as the NPP that the time should run.
It's not that we're happy, but I'm saying that they have this. They said that the economy was criminally managed. They have sent a few cases to court. They are all at case management level. The only case that is under prosecution today is the Rubohe, just one. Out of the over 200 that Okujeto and others had pointed out. That's why I'm saying that looking at the snail pace that they are going on, that is the reason the Attorney General will always come and address a press conference, just to assuage the feelings of those who voted for them. Because they told them that Ghanaians are working. Because this is the first time an Attorney General is addressing a press conference. He has addressed more than 10 press conferences. To announce that he is going to court, have you ever heard any press conference from any Attorney General announcing that I'm going to court?
But Godfrey Dami has always provided reason.
He never addressed any press conference. He never addressed any press conference to say that I'm sending someone to court.
He's never.
Not even Martin Amidu, not even Betimult. almost all the attorney generals in this country had never addressed a press conference to say that I am going to court because of 1, 2, 3, 4.
But what is wrong if we have a Minister of Justice that comes to the people of Ghana on the
there's everything wrong with that.
The opponent's lawyers.
The opponent's lawyers, you're talking about the opponent is going for top lawyers and so on. It means you have trumped-up charges against them.
Into the eyes of
when my sister Janet once said that if she were his relative, she would ask him not to come. Because
I recall. He was on this show.
Yes, you see, because I now side with her because everything in this government points to the fact that they just want to arrest him, bring him into this country, and persecute him. So I share with her view that he shouldn't come. Right. If there is any way they can get to him, they should get to him. He is not invading.
You are happy telling a former finance minister of this country.
Yes, the reason is that what is happening today, the intimidation that the judiciary is under today, a chief justice has been removed because she took an allowance.
And that is why you must use the conference to try him.
Exactly.
If you won't come, use the conference system to try him.
Why can't we get Ken Ofori Atta on Zoom, as they're saying? Well, I mean, it's new to me, but Awal says we can do a Zoom trial.
But I told you that Roger Metron, when he confirmed that he took tea and biscuit, he said it on Zoom.
Rashid, let me get from you, Rashid.
Very well, let me say good morning to you and your panel. And let me apologize for joining late. I was a bit tied up with some other activities. Let me apologize to them. I'm sorry. But, well, you see, Ghana is a very beautiful country. It's a country we love. We all love Ghana. I mean, both the ruling and then the opposition. We all mean business for the good of this country. But we must face it. You see, when political power is given to you, it's just the resources of the state which have been entrusted into your hands. To see how you can manage it for everybody to have his or her due. That is the essence of governance. The people must enjoy their fruit of their labor. But when the resources are given to you and you dissipate it, you misbehave with it. And because you feel that you have rubbed shoulders with the people and want to get away with it, and you don't want to be accountable to the people, and you think you can run and seek refuge somewhere. Look, crime has no expiring dates. That is one thing people should know. We will make sure that all those who have dissipated state resources will be brought before the law court.
Lawyer,
and to face justice.
Lawyer Wayo Ganamanti is asking why the Attorney General is telling us that someone has gone in for top lawyers. He feels it's just part of conceding that, look, you don't even have a case in the first place, so why would you go ahead and be announcing all of that?
You see, governance is about getting the people along with you. Let them know what is going on. In fact, there is a clarion call across the country that we must bring down the former finance minister to face justice. Because it's a serious matter. I don't know whether you have, the last time, have you visited that supposed cathedral? Have you visited that place? Go and see. You weep for this country. You weep for this country. Somebody, carelessness has led us to lose almost $58 million. Go and see. The most expensive hole you can see in the whole country, in the whole world, not even Ghana. And yet, you think that we should fold our arms?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But if you're feeding that into the kind of promise you made, they're pointing into the quote that, for instance, the majority leader made just last night, saying that the country was criminally managed. You made promises. You said there was going to be Operation Recover All Loot. You were going to hold people to account. It's already a year.
That's what I'm saying. But they have run away. They are not fugitives. A lot of them.
All the people in the oral report, or which one?
Some of them. Those in the oral report, some were arrested and they are facing the music in court. Others have run away. We are pursuing them.
Who has run away?
In fact, the issue of the former finance minister, extradition notice has been sent to the U.S. authorities. He is battling it over there. He doesn't want to come. And I'm not surprised my good brother, Awo, is insisting he shouldn't come. You see how they are. These are the
you feel he's the one feeding. You feel he's the one feeding information to Ken not to come back.
But he just said it there. He said
he just said it. That's right. Awal is the one behind that. Yes, that one I agree. He can't fight that.
See, my brother Awal is there saying it.
Yes, he's here.
He thinks that the man should not come.
Yeah. Awal, you're the one telling cannot come.
So what is it to him? Is it not abatement of crime? What he's doing? Don't you know that it's an abatement of crime?
He said you are better.
You. The lawyer, he has not committed any crime. Ken has not committed any crime. He has not even been charged. That is what we should understand. He has not committed any crime. He has not been charged.
I will. You have your day.
Yeah.
I just joined and I apologize for joining.
Okay.
So allow me some time.
We're taking will have you in the studio.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yes. I in fact, I have some emergency I need to attend to.
Okay, so yes.
You see, needless be, please, nobody is persecuting any opponent here. Let me assure Ghanaians and my good friends in there, the NDC government will never persecute its opponents. No, we are not enemies. We are not. We are only opponents. The opponents mean we are opposing each other on policy and strategies and direction. That is how we do the game. We are not enemies. So we will not use the coercive force of the state to persecute our opponent. That is not in the DNA of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that when people have questions to answer, they shouldn't come and answer the questions.
Yeah, but it's as though, and you've heard people say that what is it about Ken Ofori Atta that you have, that you specifically want him to be here physically before all of these proceedings can continue? I mean, there are some people under the SYL-NDC administration, the previous one, they were tried in absentia, for instance.
I'm saying that his case is so serious, it's so grievous that we cannot try him by Zoom, as my good brother is asking for. They should come. How serious? Why is he running away? The question is why? Why is Ghana not his country?
Every criminal matter is a criminal matter. How is this so serious?
I'm even surprised they are deciding him. Was it not the same man that the minority, almost 88 of them, by then, in fact, the NPP leadership, 88 of them, MPs, did a press conference asking for the president, Nana Akufo Addo, to remove him from office.
Yeah, but was there any point in that press conference where they said Ken Ofori Atta had committed any crime?
No, he said
I'm saying, why were they asking him to remove? At that time, why were they asking for his head?
They said
why were they asking for
the country had lost confidence in his leadership. That was what they said.
And I'm saying that because they lost confidence in his leadership, they knew what he did. They knew that he was bringing the country to its knees. His policies. Do you know that due to Ken's recklessness handling of the economy, our old fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, in fact, Janet's grandfather was part of them. They went on demonstration for their money.
Wow.
Haircut, haven't you seen them? Have you ever seen it since your life in this country? Have you ever seen old men going for demonstration for their own money, their hard-earned money? They picketed at the Ministry of Finance. Where was Awol and Co?
Is that why
didn't they see that? The former president, Nana,
this line of submissions and arguments doesn't help.
Look at this. Can you
the fallacy is too much.
He's still on a campaign mood.
Diverting issues, it's not right.
Let me, Mama, come on.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I am saying that the former president, President Akufo, did you hear his interview recently? Did you hear what he said? When he was making reference to the DDEP, he made reference to all that.
Then he sent him to the political story.
Your own report, the report that you wrote after you lost the election, Professor Makukwe report and all that, haven't you made copious reference to Ken behavior and the DDEP? What was it meant for? Now, they made reference to what was it meant for? Now, so all these things that we are talking about, it's important. I am saying that we are in office currently. The NDC is in office.
All right.
And we are monitoring and seeing things. It has given us enough warning that, look, if you misbehave with state resources, tomorrow you face the music. Okay. It's not for you.
Yeah, all right. And we've heard that from
you. Must make sure that the people benefit from their labor.
I agree.
They must benefit from it. And then now that we are seeing this, I entreat Awol and his group, please, they are not being persecuted. They should come and answer questions. They were given the mandate by the people, and the people are asking them to come.
Okay, a lot of accountability questions here.
Because of these things.
Okay.
And these are the things we are talking about. In another case, you spoke about galamsey. Let me just land on that one. We promised the good people of Ghana that we're going to repeal the airline. We have succeeded in repealing the airline. Campaign promise has been achieved.
Okay.
We promise and we deliver. And I'm saying that, my good brother, that thing has been repealed. Nobody can go near forest cover or water bodies to do. Okay. Anybody who tried it, they will see the force that the NDC government will unleash or
Rashid Tanko,
nobody's going to do that.
Yeah, I get that. Because of time, let's hear from you, Ivan. And I come to, yes.
I think that watching from afar, I'm very much enthused about the flame in Ghanaians demanding for accountability. Because it's quite an obvious reality that Ghanaians want to see the back of criminals who take advantage of political power to plunder the state, suffer the consequences for it, so that we are able to establish the conventional red lines that going forward, politics is not an avenue for people to come, steal, make money, and then go away. The whole essence of governance is to ensure that we provide and secure the welfare, the collective welfare of the people, so that we can advance economically, socially, whichever aspect. That is the whole focus. And on this particular AG matter regarding the many press conferences, I think that if you look at Attorney General, he has a dual role as an AG and as a Minister of Justice. And as an agent of government, you have a responsibility to inform people, let them know the state of play. Because governance, more or less, isn't some kind of a shrine where few people go in, do things at the blind side of the people. You need to let people in to understand what is happening. So with the many press conferences, I think it's a way of letting the people know the state of play, how proceeding. Because over the years, people have complained about the fact that they are very often left in the loop regarding some of these things. So it's a way of clearing the issue for people to understand that this is the state of play, this is what we are doing. And regarding the extradition of Ken Ofori Atta, I am very angry that people are not pissed that Ken Ofori Atta has decided never to come to this country. But now we are washing the blame.
In fact, Janet was here some time saying that
it's very
she will advise Ken Ofori Atta and their family that don't allow the man to come back.
It's very shameful and very embarrassing to sit on TV and make such pronouncement when somebody who has been accused of having committed crime to come and answer for his crimes. You may be exonerated at the end of the process. If you know you've done nothing, I don't know what is preventing him from coming over to this country to answer. Because your insistence on staying will give credence to the fact that you are guilty of what you are being accused of. Initially, he started by playing the I am sick card, and the benefit of the doubt was given to him. He wrote a letter on several occasions to the special prosecutor, giving him tacit assurances that he will be coming May, he will be coming. Now, we've gone past all these days. At this point, people are not talking about he's sick, because many people have seen him trekking on the street of America, which means he's a bit stable, whatever. But I am not sure. I'm a nurse. I know people who are immobilized, people who cannot move. You understand? His situation is a bit different from. So if Ken Ofori Atta is not afraid of anything, I see no reason why he should not, because even the former President Akufo Addo is in the country. Dr. Bawumia is in Ghana. Has he been prosecuted? Has anybody taken anybody to jail? You understand? So you see, let us build confidence in people.
Like I told you, he doesn't see why you'll be saying, well, he's hired top lawyers, he's free.
No, it's by way of...
And even trying to call for him to come. It's not, our duty as citizens to worry why he wants to get out. Really? It's the duty of the Attorney General to prosecute a man who is being...
And see that
is what the law is. Don't you don't know why he's not coming. Yeah. Why is he afraid he doesn't want to come?
Okay.
Is that the issue?
That is the issue. He has as a former... Please, can I give it as somebody who has been entrusted public duty in this country, don't you think he has a moral obligation to come to this country? That should be the start of the argument before we start blaming others. He has a duty to come to this country. So the fact that he's reneging on that particular duty not to come, that is a conversation we can
When
have.
the man thinks that he comes and you are coming after him.
Oh, coming after who?
The man is weighing his interest.
No. I am
telling for you to come after me.
I am coming after who? Come after who? If you know you've not done anything, who is going to prosecute you? We are not living in a banana republic where somebody can just be bundled and thrown to jail.
We are in now because there is someone under trial who is now 3 months.
What is the meaning of this?
Because of bail condition, he has been in the
bail. And so
yes,
what?
he couldn't meet a bail condition. An accused person for 3 months. Has it happened in this country before?
Attorney General must do his work. Attorney General must do his work.
Okay, let's Ivan land. Let's Ivan land. Yes,
please. So
an accused person is
the fact of the matter is Ken Ofori Atta must come on his own. Refusing to come. Yeah, the Attorney General has that is why the
doesn't come in the next 4 years. He will not prosecute.
Extradition is very, very important, and that is why the process have been activated. And you see, I went to social media and I saw a certain trend.
Yeah, guys, Ivan has the floor.
I went to social media and I saw a certain I saw a certain trend. People were asking that Abu Trika and others who have committed fraud should be exchanged with Ken Ofori Atta. But the fact of the matter is it doesn't work like that, because if you look at the extradition treaty that was signed in 1931 between the British and then America, that was passed to us, which has been extended, the extradable crimes has been categorized. We have petty fraud, crimes like murder, other stuff. In that instance, it's a different thing. But when it comes to political and military offenses, you need to go through a hell of a process to have a person extradited. America, the most powerful country on this planet, have attempted for several years to extradite Julian Assange of WikiLeaks, still sitting at the Ecuador embassy in the UK. They haven't been.
So that's why Wayo is telling you that.
Listen to me.
Because you can't bring him.
But let him land.
Will you stop this?
So let him land.
Your own premise is telling us that you cannot bring him to Ghana.
Hold on.
You are shifting the the Republic.
You see,
he must come.
Guys, these things are unnecessary.
Let him land.
These things,
your own premise.
Let him land.
These things are
has been wired for some time.
I sat here and allowed you to say whatever you want. So the fact of the matter is that the Attorney General is going, the country at this point is going through a process just to have the man extradited. And that is a legitimate process. Right. So the delayance may be as a result, because at the end of the day, the whole case after the indictment will have to go to a federal court in the United States of America for it to be pronounced. Right. And after the ruling, even the State Department in America, and then there's the State Department will have to make a determination as to whether the person will be extradited or not. Because as we speak, this woman, who left this particular country and who was tried in absentia. The processes have so far gone through the court process and everything has been done. Now left to the State Department and the DOG to make a final determination. And some of these things, because political matters are very sensitive, you cannot just say, hey, bundle them and bring them together. And so the process that has been activated is one of the ways the government can use to bring the gentleman back. But my point is that we shouldn't have gotten to that particular point, because he has a duty as an officer who was instructed the purse of this particular country at the financial chain, the machinery. He was sitting at the center. He has a duty to the people of this particular country. Nothing stop him from coming, because the people.
If he doesn't come, then what next?
So that is why the process has been activated.
But you said the process is
and you are asking those
you are saying the process is cumbersome.
Those who are saying he should be tried in absentia. You see, he can be tried in absentia, but it's not an option that is available. You just go take it. You understand? You need to exhaust all other means, because if you go to court, the court will verify whether all these processes have been exhausted first before you can succeed in doing that. And again, the Attorney General is conducting, or the Special Prosecutor is conducting investigation. You don't know the kind of information the person seeks. Maybe he seeks his presence. And that is why there has been constant this discussion back and forth to have him extradited into this particular country to come and answer. And for me, that is a straightforward argument. So I find it quite disheartening when people sit on platforms and seek to suggest that somebody is not doing anything when the person at the center of this whole controversy has a duty to return to this country. Was he not the person who was appointed finance minister? Was he not the person who made all the dangerous decisions that affected the people of this country? Today, go to the cathedral site that he mentioned. Go and see. Hellhole, we pushed almost $97 million. People were sitting at the finance ministry, dipping their hand into consolidated fund without recourse to law authorization, and they were adding money up. You understand? These are things, the SML deal is on the table. The investigations have been completed, and then he has been named. His name has been mentioned as a person of interest in that criminal investigation.
Adding more charges.
No. I'm just asking. I'm asking why he should come into this country. So the people of this country demand that particular thing from him. So for me, I think he has a duty to come, because if you know you are not guilty of anything, nothing stop you. Ghana is not a banana republic where Ken comes in and we abandon him and throw him to jail. No, he's never going to dance.
Okay.
Just a correction. Julian Assange is not still in. He has been.
I'm saying he has been. He was there for how long?
He's a free.
For how long? America attempted.
No, stop the lies. You have been. You just lied that.
No, that is the point.
He said he's still sitting there. That was what he said. Stop the lies. When you sit here.
No. The import of this argument.
But he said on the platform that he's still sitting there.
The import of this argument.
I even wrote it. I wanted to follow
serious factual matter doesn't matter.
No. How long did it take him to be?
You called people to
say. So I'm telling you how Kimba said the
Okay.
When he is a free man.
He says on your platform. On your FM platform, that Julian Assange is still sitting there. Anything is a joke.
The point is that
it's a serious factual global matters.
The point is that we are talking about
facts
extradition process. You understand? Extradition process and the hell you need to go through, and that is why I am citing.
You should even agree with him that he should.
It doesn't change the fact that he was there for several years. For how long has he been there? So don't sit here and play around the issue when there's something of it to be ignored.
Yes, initially
you shouldn't be lying on the platform like this.
Initially you were defending Ken Ofori Atta's decision not to come now. But looking at what has happened over the years, the assurances that, I will come after my medical procedure. I mean, at some point, we're giving updates. Now his lawyers say, well, he's okay, but he won't come. No, at least
the lawyer said he's okay, but he will not.
I've heard Frank Davis say he's okay now, isn't it?
But he didn't say he will not come. I listened to him also on Joy News. He didn't say he will not come.
So he said he's okay. The only thing that was stopping him from coming was the sickness. If he's okay, then what's stopping him?
So it means he's
He didn't say he won't come. He said he is now stable. That he said.
Okay, so he's now stable. I'm using our word. So he should come back.
So I still maintain my statement that with the way the NDC is trying to do, like they have a personal problem with Ken Ofori Atta, and they are looking for him to be able to get a particular award. I don't know whether when they get him, they will get something. I don't know what it is. But then when you look at the way NDC they are dealing with Ken Ofori Atta, at times it shocks and marvels me. Number one, the person told you that he wasn't feeling well. Then the person told you that I'm ready to give you a Zoom meeting because still.
But you agree with the Zoom meeting, Janet?
In total. What is wrong with a Zoom meeting? If I have a problem, number one, did Ken Ofori Atta steal NDC any of their personal money? I'm asking. So it's not personal. You don't have money for Ken Ofori Atta to steal. It is Ghanaians' money. It is not the 6 million people that voted for youth money. It is the 35 million Ghanaians our money. Don't take it like a silver cup and carry it and be doing like you are fighting corruption when you have no moral right to even talk about corruption. The same Attorney General who is talking about Ken Ofori Atta have been able to give nollie prosequi to people who owe about 10 billion Ghana cedis. Go, and you are pulling Ken Ofori Atta for 1.4 billion Ghana cedis.
Hey, Janet.
Is that not it? Is that not true? So, isn't it shocking that a particular Attorney General...
We're talking about Ken Ofori Atta's case here. Why
that's the case. No, I'm not comparing to anything. I'm saying that to me, it is so... I'm being so... it's righteous indignation occasion in my life that I will see NDC people doing like they have any moral right to fight corruption. You are not fighting corruption. You are those who shield people who are corrupt. The only reason why you are following Ken Ofori Atta is because he's an opposition person. He's not a member of your political party, and this is witch hunting. If it is not witch hunting, take that Zoom meeting that he offered. Do your Zoom.
What's the difference? Okay.
So the difference is...
Yes, if you bring Ken Ofori Atta here and he does the meeting in person, how would that change from what you say on Zoom?
So why are you not persecuting? Why are they not persecuting?
That's the point.
They are not interested. No. They are not stable. NDC is not interested in persecuting Ken Ofori Atta. They want to use him as a euphoria to hide their incompetencies in
a political party.
Are you a member of the NDC?
No, I'm asking if...
Why are you different when they...
I'm asking if a political party...
Okay, please,
when they were all talking, I kept quiet.
You see, the problem is... NPP. That's why we are saying that.
Yes.
The next party Ghanaians should be looking at is the CPP. Look back to the
CPP. The only reason why Ghana we are having a problem is because the NDC is trying to shield their incompetencies when it comes to executing their promises by talking about Ken Ofori Atta.
Okay.
Because Ken Ofori Atta should not be the only issue. Do you know that
so if you serve are you saying that if you served as finance minister for that long,
yes,
even on the basis of
and I'm not feeling well, and I'm somewhere,
but you just told us, Awal just told us he's stable.
No, he's stable. Being stable doesn't mean that in the hospital, when they say a patient is stable, it means you will not die. That's what it means.
Yes, but you are not well.
When they say you are stable, it means that you are off. When they say you are stable, I'm also a health administrator. Look, in the health hospital, when doctors say that he's stable, it means you won't die. In fact, they have been able to manage. You will not die. They have managed to remove.
You will not.
No, the red line that would have caused you death, they have been able to stabilize that.
Yes, maybe you are out of a critical condition.
That is what I mean.
Yeah, so if it's not critical, it's not critical. It can now come home.
But when they say critical condition is out, you can still be on oxygen. But that critical condition, you are out of it. Do you understand? So medically, when a medical doctor tells you that the person is stable, it doesn't really mean that the person can jump, can pick a flight and come over here. And more to the point, the NDC, is it something that is happening today? Is it like something that is spiritual? Do Zoom meeting. We Ghanaians, we are saying that do Zoom. And then they kept on saying that. And Ghanaians are saying that. I'm a Ghanaian. I don't want do Zoom for Ken Ofori Atta.
We've had former President Akufo Addo tell his own appointees that, look, stay and account to the people.
Yes, they have stayed. Those who have stayed, look at the treatment that is meted out.
What treatment? And I heard you say something that I disagree with. I heard you say that they are taking a snail-like space in dealing with issues.
Prosecution, yes.
You know how Ghanaian judges are. You know. You've just seen that the president has just removed one judge and has placed another judge there. If you tell them that they are snail like this and they will like, you know what I'm saying? We don't want our cause to become kangaroo cause. So to me, the wheels of justice, as you said, it drives slowly.
Yeah, but
so to me, I side with the NDC. It's better for us to allow somebody to go scot-free than for us to prosecute somebody who is not a criminal.
So let me just
because we are in a hurry to do.
I'm saying that. Let me just conclude. I'm saying that.
We have 3 minutes to go.
There are a lot of politically exposed. A lot of politically exposed people went through trial in this country. Some were even jailed, but none of them faced even 1 day of detention. William TVA, Bafu Boni, Abuga Peli, they were never detained for even a day. I'm coming. Why do you said you don't have time, but so I'm saying that they went through
2 billion.
Now there is someone who is an appointee of the former government who has been in custody for the last 3 months because of
I'm saying he's talking about the
bail condition. So you expect Ken Ofori Atta to come here. I don't think he can even meet any bail condition in this country. So he will not come.
Are you not prejudicing the process?
I'm saying that why will I prejudice when we have someone who is in custody for the last 3 months because of a bail condition. So today, they are using bail as a punishment for accused people. That's the reason. If he's your family member, you don't allow him come because he cannot meet the bail condition.
Let us set the record straight. Nobody sit there and out of nothing just put a bail condition on somebody. It is based on the figure.
Even you are talking about somebody.
Collins Dauda
what about Collins Dauda? 200 million.
Exactly.
That is too much.
That can be prosecuted.
No. Let's.
I never heard you say anything about it. You
guys, let's
heard you here on 2 occasions.
Okay, I'll come back to you. 30 seconds. Yeah, I'll come back to you guys. I'll come back to you.
The admission or the pronouncement of the Attorney General that Ken has gone to look for good lawyers is clearly to me that the AG is accepting that he's a bad lawyer. Because a good lawyer should be ready to meet a good lawyer, regardless.
But in this case, the AG is not going to enter appearance. You should be mindful of that.
So why is he having qualms with the kind of lawyers the former finance minister is going to seek for? Now, the Pandai NDC candidates, the Supreme Court has said that they should look for other means of substituted service to serve him. Not so. Including yes. So if Ken is not coming, and then it's not against the law that they can use social media to commence trial, I don't see why we are still holding on to
having him in person.
To have him in person. Now, isn't it surprising that the Attorney General that has told Dr. Dufo to take over 2 billion of our money as part of 60-40% negotiation is chasing meager amount of money, making press conferences, accusing people. You see, the difference about this Attorney General is that he comes to organize a press conference and tells Ghanaians that the kind of evidence I have is shocking. We are tracking things, and if you see it, you'll be amazed. Already prosecuting you, pitching the person or the accused people against Ghanaians, and that is very bad of him because these things are supposed to be done in the court of law, and he should go there and battle and stop the numerous press conferences.
That's the case. Jata, our time is running out. Jata, now come to you. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Blessed. So all I have to say is that I think Ken Ofori Atta must retain voluntarily for the sake of his reputation, to redeem his image, and to also prove to Ghanaians that he is not corrupt, just to prove himself. And also to say that the AG is not putting in effort to combat crime, it's a total lie, because as we speak today, the office, the IOCO, has been able to exceed their recoveries. They've been able to recover over 300 million Ghana cedis, and their target for 2025 was around 200 million Ghana cedis. So it clearly tells that the oral is in process, and government is doing well to do that.
Okay, but that's anyway, but it's an agency, obviously. Our time is up. 30 seconds.
Thanks for watching. Like and share the video. You can also drop your comment. Please don't forget to subscribe. Click on the bell to turn on the notification.